I just wanted to review some abdominal bracing and how to create intra-abdominal pressure. So some of you guys I've done this with before, but what we're trying to do is create pressure and stability in that space between our rib cage and our pelvis. So a lot of times people think of core exercises being all like six-pack abs, but our core is everything that connects basically our rib cage all the way down to our hips. So that can include your glutes, it can include your hip flexors, it'll include your pelvic floor, your diaphragm, plus all those like ab muscles in between. So stability and core stability is creating reducing unnecessary motion. So creating a stable base for our arms and legs to move off of. And that's really important for building speed and power, so that when you go to throw a ball or kick a ball, you're not wasting energy and movement with your rib cage on your pelvis, and that primary power and movement can come from your leg or your arm. So the stronger and more subconsciously stable you are through here, the more power you can generate through your legs or your arms if you're running or throwing. So we want to try and enhance our ability to create that stability. And I want you guys to learn to use a little bit of your breath to do that. And we're going to create what's called intra-abdominal pressure. So just using our breath and a tiny little bit of muscle contraction, we're going to increase the pressure here, and that's going to make it more stable. So if you think of like a balloon that has lots of air in it, it's going to be really firm if you try to poke into it. Whereas if you've got a balloon, like one of those helium foil ones, and you've had it for a few days and it's starting to leak air, you can poke into it and it just kind of mushes. So in the same way that the air inside that balloon's creating pressure and making it more stable, we're gonna do that with our core. So we're gonna start just by kind of putting our fingertips underneath our rib cage, but above sort of this bone on the front of our hip. Okay, so kind of almost on either side of your belly button. And then you're gonna take a big breath in as if you're scared. And then you should feel when you do that, that your belly kind of pops up into your fingers. Okay, if you don't feel that, you can try doing like a cough or a laugh, and you should feel kind of your belly pop into your fingers. Okay, so that's filling up that balloon. Now we don't want to just fill out our balloon in the front. We're going to try to fill it 360 degrees. Now the position of our rib cage lined up with our pelvis is going to make a big difference for that. So if I'm sitting or standing like this, that means my ribs are pointing up and my pelvis is flat. So now that air is going to be forced this way. So when I breathe or laugh, it's pushing forward. But if I can get my rib cage to be stacked right on top of my pelvis, I'm going to start to be able to get that air to go into the sides and into the back. So we can create that pressure, that intra-abdominal pressure through here as well. So we're gonna do that by laying down. So you'll be able to feel the floor giving you a little bit of feedback. And you can see that I got a little bit of space to put my hand here when I just lay down flat. So I need to kind of use a little bit of muscles to hug my lower ribs down. And now I can't get my hand under there, which means I've got basically two flat surfaces, my rib cage and my pelvis. Actually, they're not flat, they're bowls. So I've got two bowls that are sort of sitting lined up like this. Okay, so if I'm sitting upright, my bowls are sitting one on top of the other like that. Okay, I don't want my bowls to be like this or like this or like this. I want them perfectly lined up, and then I'm gonna put my thumb into my lower back and my fingertips back into that spot on either side of your belly button. And then from there, you're going to take another big breath like you're scared. Or you can do a cough or a laugh. Okay? Now, hopefully you're still feeling it under your fingertips. But if we can change that position and get them stacked, then you're going to start to feel it under your thumbs and into your lower back. If you're not feeling that, then you might need to get a chair or a stool or something. You can go up against the wall to put your feet on. If your feet are up on something, it's going to push your pelvis so that your bowls are going to be even more stacked, or even possibly stacked the other way. So when you take a big breath in like you're scared, your air is going to go into your lower back. So you can do a little practice with that. Work on trying to create pressure with your breath throughout your whole cylinder. And then moving forward from that, we're going to try to move while we keep that pressure. So we're going to go big breath in like we're scared. So I can feel a little pressure in my thumbs. And then I'm going to lift one leg. And then I'm going to lift the other leg. Now, hopefully you can keep that pressure while you lift your legs. If you can't, this is as far as you're going to go, and you're going to keep practicing like this. Okay? Now there, I'm holding my breath to maintain that pressure. The next step would be maintaining that pressure as you breathe in and as you breathe out. So now I can feel my low back pushing into my thumbs, but I'm talking, which means I'm breathing in and out and trying to maintain that pressure into my sides, into my low back. And those are our deepest layer of our core muscles, stabilizing our rib cage on our pelvis. And then once you feel like you can breathe in and out and maintain some of that pressure, then we're going to add a little bit of leg movement again. We want to make sure we're not doing a big shift side to side, and just working on maintaining that pressure as we move our legs. Now again, if you can't maintain that pressure with your feet down, you can still work on moving your legs with your feet up. So I can do my breath, and then I've got my main pressure maintained, and I can move my legs like this and practice maintaining it. And then there's lots of ways to progress from there, but our ultimate goal is that your body gets so used to it and gets really good at maintaining that pressure that it's automatically going to do it when you're playing your sport. So when you're running, when you're kicking, when you're throwing, you've got that intra-abdominal pressure that you've taught your body how to create that's supporting you so you can get more power into your arm or into your leg.